Welcome, traveler, to the realm of dream skins. You won't believe your luck, but it's true. A cascade of adventures awaits just for you. Are you ready? Quickly, our cases pursue. Welcome to Skin Club, a place that is not just a case-opening platform with skins, but a real community of CS2 players. Open cases for your favorite game. Free openings are waiting for you every day. If the desired skin fell out, put it in your inventory. Do not fall out. Upgrade it to your desires. Can't pick a case? Get into battles, compete with other players, and decide the outcome right here and right now. Do you think that nothing can surprise you? Then every month, exclusive events with different themes are waiting for you. Earn event points and get access to exclusive cases. Let cases carry your cares away to Skin Club, where your inventory calls to play.
Almost because T-sided map, but T-side problems for the Falcons.
Ui dồi đen thế. Có bóp lát ra của Aleximi đi mẹ support cứu vãi luôn.
Wonderful, waiting for a reaction on his end of the map, and TeSeS might be about to give it to him. Gonna go searching out towards B, right into these dual Berettas. Hear them fire off. TeSeS knows he's lucky to still be alive. Backing away from the challenge though, not shying away from searching for an opener here, and now TeSeS gonna get it.
Has literally kept the round alive. All the nades on Karrigan and Monacy. Are they gonna throw a fake exec first? We have two decoys. Something that we have seen before, but it looks like they just want to walk in and make this happen.
Mặt luôn.
Oh, that hurts. As both your A players softened up, both your guys in this bomb site low.
Yeah.
It hits a blinder on that TeSeS flank.
Oh.
Planted, Monacy can't cover, and as they jump in, it gets denied. Na'Vi swarm as soon as that bomb goes down. And out of all the times for this pistol track record to turn sour for the Falcons, this is maybe the worst. Losing out on that one there, going to give Na'Vi a hot start to this second half.
Yeah, no bomb plant to even force a buy, to even justify in the second round. It'd be crazy to see Tech9 Armors when you're this down in the hole. Na'Vi just throw themselves at Falcons and find that pistol. The missed smoke doesn't even matter. Just more shakiness on display. Falcons T-side's really struggling. And let's look to history, right? Even though it's the first time with Karrigan in this lineup, we've seen good T-sides from Falcons on Anubis, where you're meant to get them. Against Spirit, where they won back in Rio, it was an 8-round half for Falcons. They got 7 against Furia. This is a game where they're going to have to rely upon them. And will that difficulty rear its head here in this all-important matchup for the major playoffs? Next round will set the tone. Simply done here by Na'Vi. Wonderful, keeping cool. As they put on 9 rounds on this CT side.
Dude, I mean, if you're Na'Vi, you're so happy with what you've got out of Wonderful across this series. You know, he has been in great form at this major. Him and Bit, both of
TeSeS
them,
ngồi cái dáng kiểu díu rồi đấy.
the entire thing, and then just able to bounce back so concisely. Now sitting up towards top of the board here on Anubis. Absolutely loving this series-wide recovery from Europa. Guns back out for the Falcons, and a heavy lean out towards that B site. Nico left to his own devices here, playing to contain any type of aggression out towards A.
That beats a smoke. Deep Molly and
well, this push though has left Alexi alone on this side of the map. So sure, they get all the control they wanted, but they lose the B site. Good reaction to pounce upon this for the Falcons. Gonna net them a bomb plant, a post plant too. Reaction is Mikazi giving chase right away. Karrigan had to hit that, was not ready for Wonderful. Nico taps from afar. But if TeSeS doesn't buy time, Nico might never get the chance to play. They're so focused on dealing with him. TeSeS slips the net, entirely unaccounted for. And so we say Wonderful's been on one hell of a game. But this is a tricky clutch.
Oh no.
Players on either side of him, and Wonderful decides not to play. Backing out of there, conceding in this clutch. Falcon's first rifle hits hard.
Yeah, just could not find a kid. That was deathly winnable. Nico locked off by his own molly. TeSeS low health nadeable. There were ways for Wonderful to do it, but he just couldn't get on that bomb. He could not win the round. Better to save your gun. That flash for Carrigan is so important. Alexi, as you said, he's close up alone on this B bomb site, but he has an MP9. He can shred them coming out of A main, B main. Carrigan full blinds him. Falcons find that crucial entry on the empty site. First step in the right direction.
Bỏ mid mà. Lì nhở. Kiểu lúc đầu cũng đéo ai dám bỏ mid sớm ấy. Bắt bỏ mid hợp lý vãi lìn lúc.
Now there's all this paranoia over the bomb sites. None of these opening moves for Na'Vi. Falcon showing them they're able to react very, very quickly around this info. It's kind of scared them out of doing it. And so it's a bit more restricted here. 3-man hold on B, 2-man hold in A, and a boost just to try and give you any type of an edge. You always feel desperate to make a play for info here on Anubis, and that's what's happening now. TeSeS lies in wait, will get cleared. Here's one more player. Makazi gives chase, able to hunt that kill down. Now the split comes in. Cut down by the EMA util. Pace taken out of this for the Falcons as they get thwarted on this take of the connector. Carrigan hoping to find an entry out main side. Is he up for the job? Straight away, and that's a rough whiff. 20 seconds left now, and anything else just comes from desperation. Gonna need clean entries here to pull this one off. m0NESY leads the charge, can't find a thing, and with rotations on the way over, that's a safe round for Na'Vi.
A massive step up from Makazi in these last couple, showing up when Na'Vi need him, and it's those kind of moments where you feel Falcons really rely on just everyone hitting their shots, and Carrigan lets them down in that round. He needed to find that entry in that 3v4 to win this one for Falcons. They were fully blocked off in connector. They had no way in. It had to be the B main player, and Carrigan just can't convert the kill. You are not going to clutch out late round situations whiffing shots like that. And so Na'Vi holds strong. 10-6. They shrug off that one gun round from Falcons, and we really are feeling those shades of Mirage. Control lost, but Emo and Wonderful both considering this position. Smoke falls very wide, allowing them to cross temple. Emo getting run at here, but it's mostly Glocks. Well contained by Emo. Not letting anything happen here. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Let's let him get away.
Look at Wonderful raging on the camera here.
Oh my
God, guys.
This is real rough, TeSeS!
Nice.
No way.
Bomb's loose.
And that's the part that makes you feel safe. Nico dead as soon as he tries to grab it. Ema on for the ace. And TeSeS might have offered some Deagle heroics here, but this is the dying lights of his round now. Coming through this smoke into the crossfire. TeSeS a dead man.
Getting stressful for Na'Vi. I don't feel like it needs to be. A nice 4K round out of Emo. We've had all the riflers stand tall in this second half after Wonderful got them there in the first. 11-6. Everybody relax, everybody take a breather, and Zonic calls a timeout, but I think Blade would have either way. Because Na'Vi are just 2 rounds away from the major playoffs. And Falcons are falling flat on their face come this second half.
And if you want this to not be a super one-sided affair, they need to win this round because Na'Vi have been in full control. 1 round for the Falcons in the last 10 rounds of play.
Same thing happened last map. 10-1 in those last 11 rounds. Strong starts, slow finishes. The Falcons' second half lets them down. Na'Vi are so close. They can feel it. Falcons running low on utility. This is where you need a legacy player to step up, a m0NESY or an Eco, to deliver you around. Bomb retrieval, 45 seconds, 1 full kit left of utility on Kyosuke.
And an aggressive stance out here in main. I mean, this round is won or lost based on the success of these main fights. 2 guys nearby for Na'Vi. Bit full blind, big damage done. Ema can't last long, only gets out with 1. And Na'Vi start to move on round. They hear a player out towards middle. They know that Carrigan's taken space away. That m0NESY strikes, dealing with Mikaze. You'd like to think on numbers alone, this is now a safe round. Na'Vi not feeling pressure to play for this one, back on out.
Yeah, they've got room to play with here in this game. They don't need to throw away this opportunity and this money. Keep the 4 buys coming. You lose it to that main fight. A bit of stress here, as it could have all just been avoided with a couple more kills in that A-hold, but good double flash for Falcons. Makes Bit turn right into the second. And with no multi-kills, come no more rounds for Na'Vi. Falcons find a 7th, breaking that quiet streak.
Cắt bao luôn.
Trying to hop on this early because the last thing you want is for Falcons to kind of find their rhythm on this T side. Knows that easy route to the playoffs is still right here. You want that last one just to be a little bump in the road. A fortunate call where they just so happened to hit you right where they were most vulnerable. You don't want this game to go the distance, not with the lead that Na'Vi have had.
Blade was really laying down the law in that timeout. He really
Hai main đổi 1. Lỗ
had a
quá.
point to get across here to Na'Vi, and not happy with that main hold. One of the coaches with a very high timeout to round win conversion rate.
Maybe also just feeling like they gave up a little too much space in that last round, right? Like mid was free for the Falcons. They had players coming through there. It became a very restricted sight hold for Na'Vi, one where you kind of just had to be in the right place and you were relying on multi-kills.
This time Wonderful is in the right place. He can assist on mid, he can also set up Bit in A main. Couple more options open. Better to have your AWP on this side of the map. For now, just scoped up on his line. Falcons trying to blow him to bits, but nobody in the camera. Same idea for the Falcons. Get that mid control first. Util's nice, but nobody home. It's still going to give Falcons the room. TeSeS and Carrigan getting very close.
It gives you that security to start walking out towards middle. You've really made this look and feel like the A play, but now you get blocked at the 50-second mark, and that's going to make them change their minds. Leave that A side of the map entirely, walking this bomb back towards B. Flashing a lower, it's all decided on this next fight. Tag for Modesty, someone's going to bail it out, and there's that trade for QUOC. Alexi now feeling a lot of pressure as they're homing in on B, and a breakthrough for the Falcons as they now chain together back-to-back rounds.
Got to give it to Carrigan there. That's a really well-called round. They really make it look like that A play again. The same pressure, flashes on main, the same util in middle, just to force Na'Vi back, and then boom, 180 back to connector into that B hit. Falcons explosive execute, catches Na'Vi by surprise. And a perfect time to pull that round out after the one they just won on that A bomb site. Falcons keep themselves in this game.
Now with an eco to follow, this is starting to tighten up in a big way. Almost hope this is where you let Wonderful off the leash a little bit, right? Try and force some fights on his AWP, because he's held onto it a couple of times now. Just found himself out of the action. So maybe this is where he says, I'm going to stop giving them the chance to avoid me. In rounds like this, you need a hero to emerge, and one of the ways you can do that is just by forcing these opening fights. So what kind of look do we get for Na'Vi? No aggressive line for Wonderful. A bit just committed to that A-hold. Falcons were nervy about some early aggression. You've got Nico floating around the rugs, making sure no one can push out A. Two-man hold out towards the B main push. And Wonderful is now going for that peak. Got to flick down on this because TeSeS holding for it. Missed shot.
Alexi
The wrong man. You know that Wonderful's still here, but it's just this one orb. You're surrounding it on all sides. There's nowhere left for Wonderful to hide.
Hay nhờ, quả lửa.
So they go right in to that AWP. They give Na'Vi their wish. Falcons still get through with the round win. I say
Ui, C4.
almost out towards the T stairs. Nico taking a safe path to rotate, but it's Carrigan who's got to cover, and Bit taps him out.
Oh, no.
This bomb is now trapped, cut off from the rest of the pack. Is Bit aware of this? Nico's been sneaking. Will he be able to put 2 and 2 together on that? Wondering why was someone holding. Nico gets by with a bit of help from the rest of the Falcons. Util comes down. Bomb dodges this threat.
Such integral assistance from QUOC has got Nico in this site and put the bomb down, and now Na'Vi have a tough decision to make. They know positionally this is not their round. They've got to buy regardless coming up, but odds against them. Either way, Na'Vi walk out of this one. Falcons will find a third on this T side in a row. We are going the distance. It felt like Falcons were ready to roll over in this series. Na'Vi showing up on Anubis. But Falcons have dug deep.
Ủa, Pi không cho xếp. Kỹ vãi.
Love the round opener as well, getting QUOC into con very quickly. Modesty covering him, letting the young rifler trust in his mechanics to fight the window. Strong early map control for Falcons. What will the next call be? Na'Vi have used their final timeout. There are no more left in regulation. Both teams burning all 3. Zonic's last chance to talk as well. Blade recapping the game plan, because while this felt like a quick, easy finish for Na'Vi, no reason to get stressed. Some very clutch rounds down the stretch for Falcons have made this all too close for comfort.
around now, but you're getting worried you're running out of time to stop this. Again, adopting this triple B lean for Na'Vi. TeSeS throws in the lurk smoke to try and keep him there.
Vẫn setup 3B.
Suke even scaling up down towards dark, and I mean a lot of these rounds have ended out towards the B site for the Falcons, so trying to keep Na'Vi paranoid. Util comes in and with a flash that hands Kiyasuke control over dark.
Hay đấy, bắt được Carrigan.
Nice way to set a tone. Set up by Alexi, he's dealt with Carrigan. Falcons now a man down.
Thôi xong.
Push out through the connector. TeSeS trying to bail them out. Wonderful getting pincered, getting cleaned up. It's TeSeS.
3 thành 3v3 thật rồi. Mà thế.
Bomb rotating in late, so you got to save a smoke for the cross. Luckily enough, m0NESY's bringing his own. Nico and TeSeS, they just can't relinquish even a meter of ground here. Smoke goes down. Bit thought about playing through it. But no util for that, so you just got to group and hit, go together. First man spotted, it's Ema. Little labored for Nico, but boy does he make up for it, and TeSeS just continues this tear.
Hay, TeSeS kỳ thật, TeSeS cứu đấy.
And that's a nice Rene at the end of this one. 3 massive kills from him on the entry.
I just can't believe he walks the smoke. He does it alone. His teammate's coming out connector. He just charges through that B main smoke. Absolutely fearless play from TeSeS with all the pressure on. Gets himself a double entry. Finds a 3K in the round. Nico hunts down Alexi B. Falcons playing like they have nothing to lose with everything on the line. And TeSeS, big game, big play. Across Dust 2 and Anubis, he has just been a rock for the Falcons.
I absolutely love that. You know, one of the conversations earlier from the desk was how, you know, when he made that smoke push play back on Dust 2, that's the
hết cơ hội nói rồi.
massive lead. But there's no lead here for the Falcons. That was a round that was getting away from them, a round that could have decided whether they lock in playoffs today. And TeSeS makes the baller move. Money broken. Na'Vi
Chết rồi, kỳ rao à. À không, rao sao vẫn bay được, nhưng mà đôi khi bú được rao này. Nãy giờ Falcon nó stack 3B mà gãy nhở.
We rarely saw from this Falcons roster pre-Carrigan showcased it in Astana. In that insane overtime game against Furia, time after time, bringing it back from the brink of defeat. And here it just fell.
Rồi anh à.
Conclusion come the end of Anubis. But more twists, more turns in this tale.
Bạch đủ rồi.
Got to be careful, man. This 5-7 is lethal.
We've had some
Bị kỳ đó, bị trò này. Đôi khi vẫn làm được 2.
Rocket, the bit currently rocks out towards this A bomb site. He's entirely alone as again Falcons.
Ôi mặt luôn kìa. Ôi một mặt kìa. Bị thầy thế. Bị thầy vãi luôn. Cố lắm rồi đấy. Cái hồ bom để cứu. Alexi còn 2 flash. Chắc là không cứu. Save. Bắt được súng.
Kiyasuke already wounded. This could have gotten very scary. Ema certainly has to save his gun. But Na'Vi, do they want to go searching for AKs at the end of it all? Looking for anything they can get. Falcons exiting together in CT. Wonderful, the chance to make a bit more money for that orb later on, but Kiyasuke denies. And that is 11 apiece. Falcons still here, whether you want it or not. 5 rounds in a row on this T side.
And in this whole streak, you know, they've walked into the stack, I want to say once. Other than that, they've been dodging these Na'Vi stacks. They condition them to worry about that B bomb site a hell of a lot, which is the relentless slog of B hits. Now breaking away into A plays. At this point, Na'Vi, they fully kind of lost the read. They've lost the initiative on this game.
Đấy, kỳ round đây.
Falcons in the driver's
Thua là
seat.
thua luôn.
Got momentum behind them. A
Na'Vi thua round này là thua luôn.
on this comeback. After all this paranoia at B, finally the A play into a solo hold. Look where Falcons set up again. It's going back to basics, back to what was working.
Ôi, nghe thấy tiếng thằng Makaze nó đẩy hầm một phát thì con mẹ đâm vào luôn mà. Trời ơi. Dí của ác quá. Ôi, xếp tiếp. Round cuối. Bây giờ mất hết súng. Bây giờ bọn Falcon được quyền đi bắt súng nhá. Được quyền đi bắt súng luôn. Cần ra được quyền đi bắt súng rồi. Đi bắt thoải mái luôn. Tiền nhiều. Round cuối rồi. Ôi, mất càng nhiều súng bọn Na'Vi càng chết. Bây giờ dồn vào A thôi. Ôi xong rồi. Hết súng rồi.
This is a disaster for Na'Vi, and Blake cannot call them off. He cannot calm down. There are no timeouts left. This is Falcons on a heater. 6 rounds in this in a row. A team that has struggled.
Nghe thấy team kia bóp flash để thằng nghĩa đẩy hầm một phát đi vào luôn. Ôi.
Digging deep yet again. Against a legendary organization with 2 Cologne trophies in their cabinet. But Na'Vi might have to fight on the final day. Is it ever as easy as this? 6 rounds in a row. Can Falcons finish what they started?
So much has had to go right for the Falcons, right? You were getting some weak performances here, some struggling players looking a little uncomfortable, but they've just come into their own across the board, man. TeSeS sitting up top of the charts with some ludicrously impactful rounds at this B bomb site. Nico coming alive.
Mọi người thấy không? Cái map này cái nối nó quan trọng không? Ít mẹ. Như kiểu giao chiến ở cái núi này gần như là vãi cứt luôn.
Opening for Kiyasuke, but this is nothing more than a ruse. This is one man trying to put the squeeze on that B site. Rest of the Falcons ready to split, ready to end this on the A play. Wonderful and bit. It's Na'Vi's 2 top performers. Brothers in arms on this push. They've got to be the guys to stop this. Wonderful. There's the opening. For the first time in a very long time, Na'Vi have an advantage, a 4v3.
Xịt bò đẹp quá. Alexi nó biết đấy. Nhưng mà bây giờ làm gì bị quay rồi. Hay. Hay thế. Căng đấy. Cái lỗi Cardigan đẩy vào quả tham mình sai quá. Bắt ý là 2 thằng không cùng vào một lúc ấy thì phải quay được chết thằng Cardigan tự nhiên đẩy vào một quả thì sẽ khôn lỏi. Bắn địt mà round cuối phải kỹ tí chứ. Rồi nó đánh một sai thôi. XCB quả cuối hay quá.
We know what overtime's like, a little bit more aggression, more risks taken. And Makazi goes straight out connector in this first round.
Instant B hit. They try and pick up the pace. This time, bit more of a hold for Ema, and with Makazi close by, he'll help him out.
Insane double for TeSeS.
Nico, it's Monacy. The big duo of the Falcons left in this one. So Monacy gonna open, nades rain in, but they don't finish the job. First you see the flash.
Chó Monacy
And now you're waiting for that thunder. Nico close by. Wonderful. Doesn't go. Doesn't elect to play. Is he really writing this one off, or is this just a reposition? Surely you're not throwing in the towel.
Vẫn điên.
Reroute all the way around spawn side.
Monacy điên quá.
Tricky 1v2 laid out in front of Na'Vi's top performer. Want to see his eyes on this CT. Walk up and he doesn't miss. Nico not even required. Monacy gets it done on his own.
5 rounds without a kill for Monacy, but he breaks in this first of overtime. Another disadvantage hit out of the Falcons. Finds success. 3 on 5 when the trades come in. TeSeS sets him up. Monacy knocks him down with a strike in this round.
Hay quá, quả này Monacy bắn điên quá. Để căng á.
Back to the water. Monacy covering Kyosuke again. This 1-2 punch up connector. Triple B for Na'Vi. It's been abused. Threatening mid-utility. Carrigan gets in the mist. Last time Ima came.
Biết ôi, im kê trước luôn.
This time he waits him out.
Thằng im nó kê trước luôn.
Carrigan's already low. Just a couple of shots in the head for Ima. As Na'Vi go investigating, they clear mid entirely, putting bodies back on this A site.
Ui, địt mẹ quay đọc hay nhờ. Đọc quả binh luôn á.
Coming through that, Nico. First man in, first to fall. Trade back for TeSeS, who has just been electric. That's going to enable a plant. That's going to put the time pressure back on Na'Vi, but they're here very, very quickly. And they're chomping at the bit to begin this retake. Quad swing, TeSeS.
Ui, TeSeS, TeSeS. À, căng vai. Mà TeSeS bay rồi, trận trước thọt bao nhiêu, trận này điên bấy nhiêu. TeSeS trận này thì phải dồn hết vào trận này, tích nộ. Wow, TeSeS tích nộ mà.
TeSeS hasn't been shy in talking about the adjustments since Carrigan joined. The kind of weird spot he's in with having to both be the safe pair of hands and a risk taker, but he is nailing that right now. Nico with this trade, the water aggression stemmed by the Falcons. It's lost you 2 big names. Monacy, Kyosuke sitting out in this final round of the overtime.
Ôi rồi ôi, TeSeS. Ôi, crowd chip. Mãi cả lên crowd chip xúc vật thật.
It's got to be this long-awaited reunion of Carrigan and Nico.
Biết lại bú được khẩu AK lại kỳ nha. Trận này vẫn chưa nói được điều gì hết. Nếu mà Falcon mà không dẫn 3-0 thì đôi khi là Falcon đi. Cơ hội đến thế rồi lại còn mẹ ông TeSeS này. Đúng, quả đấy đen thôi, quả đấy ăn crowd cheat thì đen thôi. Thấy rồi. Carrigan thì Michael Lutz. Carrigan thì Michael Lutz.
Rotate out towards CT for Wonderful. Carrigan doesn't have a lot of time to get very comfortable here. First kill secured, but it's Pitts backstab that at least puts something on the board for Na'Vi.
A confident approach for Bit. He was not shying away from that clutch. Just walks right through that smoke to play off his teammates. Na'Vi dangle in this game, but they hang on with 1 round on the CT side. Absolutely enough. Given the T-half that Na'Vi gave us back in regulation a while ago.
Crowd cheat, ông biết quay lại nhìn luôn mà.
When you move past those pistols. big pickup for Na'Vi to stay afloat.
Dẫn được 3-0 là dở đấy.
Important series. No one wants to be in that final day of play to make it to the playoffs.
It's been absolutely dying for the chance to jump in and say his piece. He's waited till Na'Vi move over to the T side.
Tách bao luôn mà.
Falcons back on CT were very aggressive in regulation. We saw a lot of opening moves, second timing pushes, walks out water, pushes out con, Nico dropping through the window. They were not afraid to get stuck in. By the end of that half, Na'Vi had them stuck in their bomb sites. They had Falcons tamed. Well, Falcons bring that same aggression that they started in this third map with.
Almost wouldn't hate the idea of seeing them take it to a greater extreme while they have this one extra round to play with.
Ôi, cũng TeSeS cũng dị đâu. Nghiêng con mẹ sang một bên mà.
Streak of rounds that they lost, it was a number of these 5v3s getting squeaked through for Na'Vi. It was as they tried to fall back and play their bomb sites that problems would emerge. This makes you wonder what would happen if they just kept on pushing. Back in after the tech pause. And Na'Vi on the more comfortable half.
Im trận này bắn 27 frag cơ. TeSeS trận này cũng gành. Thì về trận trước TeSeS thọt, trận này tích nộ mẹ luôn mà.
See a very different pace of play out of Na'Vi. Falcons were bombastic and explosive on their T half. Na'Vi a lot more considered. It's about the slow grind, wasting the util, misdirecting your opponent. And now with a foothold taken down here towards the connector, eyes set on a potential B split.
Ui!
Yeah, no ifs, ands or buts. This one's happening here for Na'Vi. No matter what gets thrown their way. Bit of a feint towards the middle with that util is going to send Nico back into TeSeS, and so that leaves the other three of Falcons holding on this site.
Này, một là một rồi.
Trying to take a repeat, trying to take another advantage because they've got Na'Vi blocked off.
You want to leave right now. You've just learned about this Monacy AWP in the worst way possible. You lose bit. Your star rifler brushed aside by the AWP.
I don't think you can leave. I think you have to recommit. You've got two players stuck in the mud, committed to this B site. Monacy's moved away, back of the site. Only two CTs here, make that one. It's only Monacy or bust.
Second shot. Now he learns about the wonderful AWP.
Hai bên đuổi mạng liên tục mà. Ôi xong rồi.
Monacy walks right into it. Nico and TeSeS. They give this one a look in. Oh. Hop, skip, and a jump for Alexi. Keeps him out of harm's way, and that wonderful AWP continues to cover.
All right, we're back to regulation. Feeling like an unstoppable force here for Na'Vi. Massive shots to defend that site, and again the pressure.
Thằng kêu vào góc xấu. Thế cả không biết là thằng Magaze nó bò được vào trong.
What a dangerous decision. Must be feeling like he's getting scaled on by a rifle. Why else would he do that? Wonderful just holds the line. Na'Vi trade out 14-14. Timeout for Falcons. High pressure on that B site.
Bố mày làm 2 rồi đấy mà chúng mày toán chết. Thì cày.
So Zonic timeout. Both of them now used in this overtime. It's our last map of the night. Cologne, are you ready to send a team into the playoffs? then let's do it. Patience is the name of the game. RV walk through the water.
There is this double setup in mid. This is an area the Falcons have largely neglected, so it begs the question, what's the idea with Nico and m0NESY?
FA đơn giản hả?
Chance at a fast flank because they're seeing a lot of util getting lobbed TeSeS his way. He gets completely blocked out by this smoke. You're one man inside of the site, can't do a thing to stop this. Na'Vi moving in. Nico sees the shadow, knows Alexi's right there and up for the taking.
Arm needs to go down. Na'Vi put it in.
Má mày ti mạnh mà, má mày ti mạnh lắm.
In his fight now, you need Nico to deliver. Does get past Alexi. That at least offers something for this flank. It's him and m0NESY embarking on it. You'd love Carrigan to just get one here. Makazi low. Ema in position to swing and trade this, so gonna be hard pressed to get out with anything more than just this one. But Carrigan does secure his kill. Ema offers up that trade, and now wonderful strikes on the AWP.
Rồi.
There's the reply. Ema's feeling pressure now. Boxed in on both sides, but top of the board.
Ôi, hay thế. Trận này căng thật á. Trận này căng vãi luôn. Ủa, trận này căng quá. Xem sướng ấy, trận này xem sướng luôn á.
Right there for the taking. A very difficult retake. An integral check for Nico. Carrigan getting his one. And m0NESY some sharp shots.
Ăn đó đấy là sống mà. Chỉ cần ăn được một round bên City là sống rồi. Ti đoạn này á phải dẫn được 3 round chứ không là căng lắm. Ôi m0NESY bắn nó tay chết luôn mà. Bắn nó tay chết luôn mà. Ui. Sao không bắn được? Ô, bắn tay chết luôn mà nhở.
Oh damn, that hurts for Wonderful, man. It makes sense here for Na'Vi, but Wonderful has just been so reliable on the AWP. He has been going toe to toe with m0NESY all map. He's been besting him in head to head as well. Now his bid on that weapon, but he has had a pretty poor map by his stand.
Trận này bên Falcon bắn đều. Đây gần thì đúng nhiệm vụ rồi. Thi thoảng chết hơi ngố mấy quả thôi.
We've seen two faces from the Falcons, one that play within their bomb sites.
Đây rồi.
More often this area has been open. A triple stack.
Đổi hai thôi, đi rồi. Thật, đi rồi.
m0NESY's orb hasn't moved a muscle. Hanging around, the flashes are good, but m0NESY
chưa đi. 2v2 Carrigan kêu làm được.
Mid open. They hear rotates getting scrambled.
Carrigan trả quả smoke điếm chó chưa? Mẹ. Kìa vẫn vào. Được phun vẫn khôn. Tất nhiên rồi. Nico chưa có bây giờ mà hạt lắm. 1v1. Còn được phun đấu với Kyosuke. Lộ hai thằng đều lộ hai vị trí rồi.
It's their freshest face, their rookie player, QUOC faring off against the battle-hardened Wonderful for the clutch and overtime.
Hay.
Wonderful delivers.
Who would have thought handing this guy the AK was a mistake? It's back to a triple.
Quả đấy Carrigan bỏ người được mà. Quả đấy Carrigan bỏ người được mà. Tí á. Đi lợm tí là bỏ người được ấy. Căng nhờ.
But legends don't die easy. Na'Vi keep hustling.
Hard to not feel like Na'Vi now feel like they have a big degree of freedom. They're on the better half. They've clawed it into another OT. This is your chance to make Falcons feel the pressure.
Ai là người mắc sai lầm rồi đấy. Đấy đúng căng luôn. Địt mẹ. Lại set A tiếp à? TeSeS nãy giờ nhá đây lộ ôi.
Playing a block, but this can sometimes feel risky. Depends the pace you get out of Na'Vi as they round this corner.
Biết ngay mà, TeSeS đứng ở đây lộ một lần rồi. Hay, ui, mấy cái backup nhanh thế, hay quá. Hay. Hay, vẫn hay, còn Kyo thì khó rồi. Ủa, chọc đầu kìa. Hay 7 giây. Ô block rồi. Khó cho Alexi B. Hay đấy, backup nhanh vãi cờ cứt ạ. Nghĩa là quả đấy cảm giác mà nó backup quá nhanh luôn á. TeSeS nhá ở đấy một lần lộ rồi mà. Thế nên là chúng nó lần sau chúng nó biết, ý là ông không tạo động gì cho sâu wing mà phát chúng nó chơi luôn. Solo A nó nguy hiểm chỗ đấy. Biết là phải giữ utility ấy, nhưng mà kiểu nó nhá mấy lần mà nó không động là bọn nó biết thằng TeSeS nó làm gì luôn. Nhưng mà ăn được một round bên City thì là ấm rồi. Bây giờ vào swing nó ăn luôn, nhưng mà bỏ backup nhanh quá. Phải ăn thêm một round City nữa thì tỷ lệ cao là thắng. Quan trọng tâm lý này mà. Đến tập này tâm lý nó căng lắm mà. Không có chỗ cho sai lầm. Rồi, kẹp hai main luôn. Bất ngờ đấy. Quả đầy này là em biết. Thôi xong rồi.
Most finals in CS2 at majors, which does feel crazy to think about. The absolute roller coaster that FaZe Clan was. This is a guy who knows how to cool under pressure. Carrigan with a watch over middle. Doesn't have to commit to a fight here, would just love the early warning. Because his players in A are committed, they are deep. And that smoke cuts off vision. That's a bit of
nó quay được Carrigan luôn đi, mà Kaze nó vào ăn luôn này.
And so for now, a gap opens out towards A.
Ôi, TeSeS.
On his aggression. And that gets played head in hands, losing bit to a backstab like this is a big blow.
Đẩy của em bên trí đấy, vãi luôn. Thế vào kiểu gì? Mày kẹp cả Nico cả ấy rồi, chỉ đánh B thôi, đánh B đẹp hơn. Đúng rồi. Đây gần góc này phải đổi một. Ui tham minh. Chỉ đổi. Ơ Kyo vẫn còn kia kìa.
Repeat denied. Kiyasuke in the sight. A wonderful hit to banger. How is he still alive? All right, that's the bomb down. Wonderful cover path. It's him and Ema, the two top performers here for Na'Vi.
Ôi, thôi xong rồi. Đấy, từ Wonder Farm.
And one shot left.
Ôi có.
Quát ra phổ đấy.
How does he lose that?
Choáng. Đau tim. Nico. Nico quả class đây cũng đái thật đi mà. Ghê thật đấy, quả ghê ấy. Địt mẹ Wonderful bắn kinh vẫn lâu. Ăn hai là căng cho Na'Vi rồi. Tự bắn chết người, tự hô mà. Tự class xong rồi tự nai. Ui, Monesi. Ủa đổi hai lãi không? Lãi quá. Lãi không? 2 đổi 2, may. Biết đẹp này. Biết đối đầu số 6 là ai? Số 6 TeSeS. Ồ khó. Vỡ vụn rồi. Na'Vi vỡ vụn rồi.
And in a game that is
vì vỡ vụn.
skewed massively towards these T-sides, the prospect of a
Usuke
full CT half,
làm
that
gì trong
is a
tình huống này?
massive red flag.
Alexi B lên cho mình khẩu ngắm à? Chắc là nhặt của thằng Wonderfarm. Wonderfarm bắn trận này bắn 30 mạng nhá, im bắn 30 mạng nhá. Gớm luôn đấy.
Chance before in that 1v1 to end this series for once and for all. Now he can give Falcons a flawless round on the harder half. They're both coming his way.
Kyosuke chết cay, cơ hội còn nghiêng. Tham minh.
On the line, but that smoke takes him off for a second. That second might let Carrigan back into play.
Cơ hội còn nguyên.
Reroute, regroup. Background spawn for TeSeS. Carrigan going to drop mid. Smoke is going to block TeSeS. It also lets him get closer. Carrigan is
Carrigan chạy.
moving in, and Na'Vi play
Carrigan chạy
the
đi
time,
về mình.
play the
Phải
ball. They've got a
luôn.
molly for it as well. There is
Rồi
no
về hai
smoke
B-main
to
đẹp
put
keng.
that out.
Nhưng mà cái chính là lại khó. Nó sớm móc rồi, biết hai B-main luôn. Bên kia còn gì không? Còn 2 quả flash à? 2 quả flash thì hơi khoai. Gỡ luôn không phách.
They don't want to win this with brawn, they want to win it with smarts. Molly ready to come in and stop that defuse.
Đi gần êm. Cái quả lửa khó nhá. Thôi vẫn ok mà. Hai round là ngon rồi. Tưởng là đi đấy, tưởng là vỡ vụn đấy. Mày.
Still questioning whether Falcons can close.
Nico bắn lỗi quả này à. Cô ở mid lại để Monisi nó đổi 2, Nico chết cháy thì tùm. Cười nói, tầm này là cười được.
Wonderful, up to 30 kills first.
Không, Kyosuke nó tròn vai đâu ấy. Không chết tay, bắn núi map này khó lắm em ơi. Bắn núi không chết. Bắn map này thủ núi khó lắm. Nó là bắn một trong những cái góc gọi là góc khó nhất của map này rồi. Có thằng nào giữ nổi cái núi đâu em.
Ủa, mày đó đi
Thấy chưa? Địt mẹ nó vào. Trắng vai luôn. Ôi, setup quả tổng lượng kìa, thấy chưa? Em thấy cái quả đi nó vào sai, nó pick một quả kia. Một quả nó chỉ cần bắn chết thằng nối thôi, cả cái side B vỡ vụn luôn. Không đét nổi luôn mà. Thế nên là hai cái vị trí nối là cái vị trí bắn siêu khó, chiến vô cùng luôn đấy. Thế nên là hai cái thằng bắn nối là những cái thằng tay siêu to như kiểu thằng Makaze với cả thằng Kyosuke là như thế đấy. Bắn nối khó lắm.
Falcons foaming at the mouth at the prospect of another chance to make it through this game. 11-6 down come this deciding map. And Falcons with a third opportunity.
Mọi người thấy map này không? Luôn nhá, bắn có thể bỏ cái mid nhá, nhưng cái nước thì bắt buộc phải chiếm bằng được. Đơn giản đấy. Tại vì cái T-side nó chiếm được cái nước, nó đánh về A, fake được cả A, fake được cả B, nó rất là nhanh. Quân trắng. Ta thì anh không nhớ ai bắn nối. Ita thì nó flexible hơn mấy team này. Tại vì cái thằng Zayu nó bay nhiều, nó đẩy vị trí nhiều.
Nó gồng lôi đi luôn.
Yêu bắt được luôn thằng Beat. Ôi số sòng rồi, Carrigan đổi mà.
And what was looking like a home field advantage there for Na'Vi, not just winning out gunfights, but taking away important parts of the map.
TeSeS đi lắc. Ý là những cái thằng đi lắc anh em cũng phải hiểu một điều là địt này, anh em biết nó ở đấy, anh em đéo làm được gì. TeSeS trận này hay mà, TeSeS trận này hay. Tích nộ nó trận trước luôn.
When you're in the position that he is, you've got to both be the safe pair of hands and the fire starter. That demands perfection,
Navi
and
vẫn
he
còn
is
điểm.
Ồ, về
delivered
đập
on
lô.
that in this
Vì
map.
thua trận này vẫn vô lùng mà luôn.
Vi tưởng thu trận này là thu 2 rồi, vẫn vào được á.
À,
Out of position. The
bắn thêm
wrong
trận
read.
nữa. Trận sau
And
à?
that's going to
À,
give
vẫn còn
way to a
mạng, vẫn
bomb
còn mạng.
plant, a 4v3 for the Falcons.
Qua mới đi.
This is their time to close.
Na'Vi here every nade, they know it's here, they know it's coming. 3 players all together in the spawn. Kyosuke fighting ahead of this smoke, he wants to finish the job.
Rồi khó,
Starts
không
off
thể vào nổi
Kyosuke
luôn.
lines them up, and this is him looking for the Lanxus for the first time in his
Được
career.
không?
Mai làm hết.
First time
Đẹp.
in the Cologne playoffs, and wonderful
Trốn
what a
hết.
game he's had. But
Trốn
even
hết.
he
Kéo
can't
làm
stop
được gì,
this.
bây giờ tao trốn hết.
Carragher waits, wonderful connects, but Falcons go all the way.
Yeah.
Carragher joins this roster, and they go the distance here in Cologne. Major
Hay quá, trận này hay quá. Xem trận này hay quá.
And give Rene his flowers for this one. What a game from TeSeS.
Xem trận này đúng hay đấy.
But here on this third map, man, this guy put in one hell of a shift. You weren't talking about Nico, Monesi, Kyosuke, none of these multi-million
Ta cần
dollar pickups.
xem lại đi cao không tuyệt vời đấy.
On Na'Vi.
Nhưng TeSeS ok không? TeSeS ok vãi lìn mà. Tôi luôn luôn đánh giá cao TeSeS. Anh em không hiểu, anh em thấy nào? Tôi đánh giá cao TeSeS vãi lồn. Nó hay từ hồi Heroic.
A stunning comeback from the Falcons, and they earned the ultimate rewards tonight. We've seen Falcons stroke their fair share of leads, but they flipped the script on Anubis after being 11-6 down to secure playoffs in Cologne.
Beat nó vẫn nặng tê đâu. Có những cái map nó quá nặng CT, lại có những cái map ý là từ hồi anh em phải hiểu là từ hồi thay đổi cái cửa sổ, cái cửa mid là City đã dễ thủ hơn một chút rồi đấy, chứ không như ngày xưa thì còn khó nữa.
Countless times before, right? Like when the game gets close, when they're behind, you lose a couple of silly rounds, and that's just it. They fizzle out. But ever since Harry joined, the game against Fury in Astana, the game against G2 here in the first round, and now you know the cherry on top. This game against Na'Vi down 11-6 on T side and Ubis to win 6 rounds in a row, secure overtime. Beat them in double overtime, you know, the second best team in the world who's been on the rise for the last few months. That's why he was brought in, and that's why he delivered.
Such an important win for Falcons. That's no biggie. I mean, it takes some coolness to be able to call this one out of overtime. But as we just mentioned before, Harry mentioned before, you can talk about Nico, you can talk about Mons, but it was TeSeS who really stepped up the fray.